Over the last 50 years, the Horn of Africa, Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, and Sudan has witnessed some of the world's deadliest conflicts. Those caught in the crossfire have been moving back and forth across international borders, seeking refuge from violence, poverty, famine, natural disasters, failed states, and repressive governments. A large wave of migration of Ethiopians took place during the 1974 revolution that overthrew Emperor Haile Selassie, instilling a new regime called the Derg. Before 1974, the few Ethiopians who migrated were elites who went to study abroad. Due to the Derg's brutality, thousands of Ethiopians were forced to flee the country. Proxy wars between Ethiopia and Somalia added to the displacement of Ethiopians. Ethiopian refugees often went to neighboring countries before settling in the West, where they established their own communities. Ethiopia's global diaspora is estimated to be 2 million, with the highest numbers in the US totaling anywhere from 250,000 up to about 1 million.
I moved here when I was 16 years old in 2010, and I remember feeling very sad when I initially left because I had to leave my family behind and move here with one of my relatives. And I had a sense that I would go back, but I don't know. I didn't really think that. I thought it was me leaving for good. I feel like that's how most people feel when they leave Ethiopia. It's kind of like this fresh start, and they're going somewhere else, and they're never coming back. I do miss home so much. I miss it all the time. But I think Ethiopians particularly have a very a great sense of national pride, especially because we were never colonized by a European power. So it's kind of this feeling that keeps us all in the diaspora rooted to our past or where we're from. We don't even have to be immigrants, it can be a first, second generation Ethiopians, still have this sense of pride and this urge to return or to go back home. So a big thing in Ethiopian culture is that most things are communal. So the way we celebrate events, the way we eat, especially the way we eat. So we all eat from the same plate, and it's literally one big circular plate in the middle of a dinner table, and everybody eats from the same plate. And there's this practice where we literally feed each other, and yeah, that's something that I still keep with me, and that's something that most Ethiopian families do. We all still eat from the same plate and together, and that's kind of a way to show how close we are as a community and as a society. My parents' generation and maybe older, during the Derg, which was this communist government in Ethiopia. This is in the 70s and the 80s. And they came in this big wave, so we refer to ourselves as the diaspora. It's kind of like the Jewish diaspora, you know what I mean? So we're all over Europe, all over the US, especially Washington, D.C., and I think because we all kind of left at the same time, around the same time, there's always the sense that we're going to go back, my parents and my friends' parents and my cousins' parents, everyone kind of, the end goal is always to go back home. You work hard so that you can save and move back home.
Ethiopia's economy depends heavily on agriculture. Important agricultural exports include coffee, leather products, beeswax, oilseeds, and tea, with approximately 25% of Ethiopians gaining their livelihoods from coffee production. It is considered the most important in Ethiopian agricultural activity. Having said that, this puts the Ethiopian economy in a very difficult situation. With different factors affecting the animal production, export earnings will suffer. Those issues include water pollution, land degradation, which leads to desertification, and poor climatic conditions, such as severe droughts. Due to this, a family's emergency food supplies diminish rapidly, resulting in hunger and starvation. In 1969, a drought began and continued as dry weather, which brought disaster through Sahel to Horn of Africa. By 1973, the famine threatened so many lives of Ethiopian nomads who fled their homes seeking relief and assistance from starvation.
Ethiopian women often migrated to other regions like Kassala and the Red Sea. Most of them worked in boutiques and hair salons. Domestic services were most popular for female migrants. About 43% of the female immigrants were unskilled with low education, and their best option was to work with domestic services. With growing female immigration in Africa, the gender roles had changed. Men were no longer the breadwinners in a household. Immigration provided not only a means of a wage for a woman, it also provided more opportunities such as access to education and better health care. The women moved for better work opportunities and livelihood. In Ethiopia, women are more than likely to be working in domestic services versus men who work in productions of goods and services. The household theory of a man being more productive in labor than women is one of the many reasons that caused Ethiopian women to migrate for better opportunities.
Yes, let's be exiled, far from our families, our beloved country, our villages, our rivers. Let's go. Let's rush. Yes, let's be exiled. Mary did it, trudging over the deserts with Jesus in her arms. Then, let's forget refuge forever and start thinking of going back. Let's build imaginary houses for our hearts to settle in advance and fill them with wealth and blessings until the cows come home. Yes, let's return. Let's never get too comfortable.